I'm being joined live with our editor-in-chief Wasbir Hussain from the newsroom. Yes, Wasbir, startling facts have come to the fore on the Tura violence. Well, it was a pre-planned conspiracy to attack Chief Minister 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗃, Wasbir.
Yes, this is indeed a sensational disclosure by Meghalaya DGP Mr. 𝗟𝗩𝗏𝗵𝗹 addressing a news conference a short while ago in Shillong. Mr. 𝗟𝗩𝗏𝗏 said that yesterday's attack outside the Chief Minister's office in Tura was a pre-planned attack. It was a pre-planned development and it was basically aimed at targeting Chief Minister 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗃 to the extent of taking extreme steps including murder. That is the word, these are the words that 𝗟𝗩𝗏𝗏, the Meghalaya DGP, has used. Now big question is, was yesterday's attack an attempt to possibly assassinate 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗃, the Chief Minister? That is the big question. It will be a subject of intense investigation by security agencies right now. Now what we are also hearing is that according to 𝗟𝗩𝗏𝗏, who said at that press conference that money was distributed to a section of people who are indulging in that arson and violence, and that alcohol was supplied to some of the youths who were indulging in that violence yesterday, and there were kerosene in jerrycans, where kerosene and other inflammable materials with matches and everything was ready. So it was a pre-planned attack. That's what the DGP of Meghalaya, Mr. 𝗟𝗩𝗏𝗏𝗏, has said. Now this is a sensational disclosure by the Meghalaya DGP, Mr. 𝗟𝗩𝗏𝗏𝗏. Obviously when the DGP makes a press conference, this is based on evidence that they have already collected. Now about 18 people have already been arrested, including members of some political parties. So this also raises sharp questions as to why these members of political parties were present in that at that time when there was a lot of arson going on, where they themselves indulging in the arson and violence. Of course the police must have arrested them on the basis of video evidence which they had gathered already from that location. Now several vehicles were damaged and ambulances were damaged, and window panes were broken with stone pelting by the mob outside the Chief Minister's office in Tura. That Chief Minister 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗃 was holed up for several hours in that office in Tura, the Chief Minister's office, where he was holding discussion with some civil society groups who were raising certain demands, and it was also decided that there will be another meeting in Shillong with the entire cabinet and other officials around August 8th or 9th. So when in the middle of these discussions, this violence had taken place, people started pelting stones, shouted slogans, and attacked vehicles outside. And now this sensational statement coming from the DGP that it was a pre-planned attack aimed at harming the Chief Minister 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗃, physically targeting Chief Minister 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗃, and possibly it was even an assassination bid by those indulging in violence. Now the big question is, was there any organized was it an organized crime? Were there any people behind those youths who were indulging in this violence? Who are the kingpin? Who are the masters of this whole game? Who executed this plan? So this will be a matter of big investigations by the security agencies. Priya.
Right, Wasbir, we also have our Chief of Bureau Arindam Das joining us live from Tura.
Arindam Das is joining me from Tura. Arindam, the DGP of Meghalaya, 𝗟𝗩𝗏𝗏𝗏, has said that it was a pre-planned attack yesterday. Money was distributed few days ago, liquor was distributed few days ago, and the objective of those who indulged in violence was to physically target Chief Minister 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗃𝗃 and even to the extent of taking extreme steps like murder. That is what, these are the words of 𝗟𝗩𝗏𝗏𝗏. What are you picking up? Arindam, can you hear me? Well, Arindam cannot hear me, but this is the...
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Now the Meghalaya DGP, 𝗟𝗩𝗏𝗏𝗏, has said that it was a pre-planned attack, that the money was distributed, liquor was distributed a few days ago, and the arsonist ultimately wanted to target 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗃𝗃, the Chief Minister, physically harm him to the extent of murder. This is what the DGP of Meghalaya said.
That's right, Wasbir. This is the version which we are getting from the morning since we took the interview of DC of West Garo Hills, Jagdish Chelani, he also said to us that it was a pre-motivated attack which was done with a political motive. And after that, I had the opportunity to speak to the Chief Minister also, and I categorically asked him, don't you think that it was an attack on you? He said, yes, probably it was an attack on him because the crowd, the way it started vandalizing, the way it started setting ablaze all the vehicles in that area, and also clashing with the police. So right now the big statement has come from the top cop of Meghalaya, 𝗟𝗓𝗏𝗵𝗹 Bishnoi, and he has said that yes, it was a plan to target the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗔𝗂𝗪. So this is a big statement which has come, and in fact as it has been said that it is
now,
a politically motivated
yes,
attack. And
has
yes.
the security of the Chief Minister been beefed up? What security measures, additional security measures do you see around the Chief Minister, 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗔𝗂𝗪𝗏?
Well, I have asked this question to the DC of West Garo Hills regarding yesterday's attack, and he has said that in fact during the attack also the Chief Minister had an adequate security cover, and no way they were able to reach near him. And today also we have gone to his residence in 𝗬𝗏𝗪𝗏, and we have seen that the security cover which he has, the normal security cover,
Right.
the category of security cover which he gets, that was only in place.
Big breaking story at this hour. The Meghalaya DGP addressed a press conference a short while ago, made some sensational claims saying that yesterday's attack in 𝗬𝗏𝗪𝗏 was a direct attack on Chief Minister 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏, that it was pre-planned and it was an attempt to physically harm him to the extent of murder, extreme step. That was what the Meghalaya DGP had said. Meghalaya DGP saying that this was a pre-planned attack on 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏 that took place yesterday, that money was distributed, liquor was distributed a few days before this incident, and that it was absolutely pre-planned, and some of the arsonists, some of the members of the mob, they had came armed with jerrycans full of kerosene and petrol and other inflammable materials. So it was absolutely pre-planned. Arindam, so you have heard this, you have visited that site, you have visited that Chief Minister's office earlier today. What do you see? I mean, there were about hundreds of people outside that office who was indulging in all kinds of attack that day, yesterday.
That's right. The building, which houses several state government offices, it was converted to a mini secretariat where the Chief Minister was holding a meeting with the protesters. He had with him another colleague of Meghalaya government, Marquis Marak. Several bureaucrats were present there when the protesters were called in, and the meeting went off on very smoothly, and there was a consensus also because the protesters agreed to come to Shillong on August 8 and 9 and hold a meeting with Meghalaya government regarding their various demands. They have basically two demands. One is of course the shifting of winter capital to 𝗬𝗏𝗪𝗏, and the other is clearing the backlog of the government jobs. So these are the two demands with which the protesters were on a hunger strike. And the hunger strike was exactly taking place opposite on the other side of the road of this building where this meeting was going on. And today I asked Chief Minister that don't you think that it was an intelligence failure, because how could a crowd of over 1,000 people could have gathered all of a sudden and then attack in such a way? He said that yes, I had got the intelligence inputs. It's people in the intelligence department told to me that there would be various people. I mean,
Arindam,
the number would be very big. And
Arindam, hold your thoughts. I am also joined by our Shillong correspondent 𝗪𝗏𝗧 Bhattacharya. 𝗪𝗏𝗧, sensational statement there by Meghalaya DGP 𝗟𝗓𝗏𝗵𝗹 Bishnoi.
Yes, definitely, Wasbir. It is a sensational statement by Meghalaya DGP 𝗟𝗓𝗏𝗵𝗹 Bishnoi, where he said this was a pre-planned attempt, and it was an attempt to cause physical damage to Chief Minister 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏 up to the extent of murdering him. And you can understand the severity of the statement, and at the level of IG law and order police official has been deployed in 𝗬𝗏𝗪𝗏 commandos has been sent there, and the DGP said the night curfew for time being will continue, and the state police will review the and order situation. As
Right,
of now,
𝗠𝗲𝗃,
police.
𝗠𝗲𝗃, hold on, don't go away. 𝗠𝗲𝗃 and 𝗪𝗏𝗻, stay on. Well, the big breaking story is that night curfew is going to continue in Tura. That is what our correspondent is saying. Plus, IGP level officer has been now rushed to Tura. There are police commandos have been sent to Tura, basically enhancing the security of Chief Minister 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗵𝗹. So this is a big development at this hour, and the Meghalaya DGP with that sensational statement that the attack outside the Chief Minister's office in Tura was absolutely pre-planned. Money was distributed, liquor was distributed, and the people came armed with jerrycans of kerosene oil and other inflammable materials. They tried to attack 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗵𝗹 and cause physical harm to him. So this is what. Now 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗵𝗹, of course, I had spoken to him a few minutes ago. We had played that 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗵𝗹 said that he would not like to comment on it. He would leave it to the security agencies to assess the security threat. But on the whole, 𝗪𝗏𝗻, have you seen additional security forces in Tura town?
That's right. 6 additional companies of BSF, 1 additional company of CRPF, and additional companies of Meghalaya Police Battalion have been deployed in and around Tura town after this violence took place. And right now I can tell you that though the situation is normal here, but an uneasy calm prevails in this hill town of Tura. We haven't seen much of traffic on the streets. You can see these are some of the busiest junctions of the Tura town, and right now the streets were a deserted look. And today when we were coming right from Paikan up to Tura, it's a 100-kilometer stretch of road, and we didn't find much of vehicle. In fact, we have gone to several places, and the vehicles are also not coming from other places. So though the situation is normal here,
yes,
but an uneasy calm prevails.
𝗪𝗏𝗻, we'll come back to you in the subsequent bulletins. Don't go away. Our Hindi news bulletin is coming up. But 𝗠𝗲𝗃, before I let you go, 𝗠𝗲𝗃, the Chief Minister 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗵𝗹 is returning to Shillong tomorrow. What are some of his engagements? Is he going to review the law and order situation in the state?
As of now, nobody is saying anything. Everyone is keeping their mouth shut. No one is saying anything because everyone is depending, everything is depending on Chief Minister and his return to Shillong. But as of now, we know the Chief Minister is returning back to Shillong tomorrow, and then only we can understand. But we can say that the Chief Minister will definitely, he will have some sort of meetings to review the law and order situation. Wasbir.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is the big story. Chief Minister returning to Shillong tomorrow, and he is going to review the law and order situation with the DGP, the Chief Secretary, and other police and paramilitary officials. On the whole, this is of course a sensational disclosure that it was a pre-planned attack targeted at Chief Minister 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗵𝗹.